Good afternoon, everyone. This is Chuck Hogan with TL Global. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we have another amazing guest today. We have Jessica Escamilla. Jessica, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Now, what you need to know about Jessica is that she is a top performer in the field of real estate. And you have how many years of experience now, Jessica?
This will be my 26th year with my company.
And who's your brokerage?
My brokerage is Coldwell Banker.
Awesome.
My office is in Houston, Texas.
Wonderful. So I'm just going to ask a really simple question. Why do you do this? Like, out of all the careers you could have?
I think my main reason for getting into it initially was because I had worked for a real estate attorney and for a few years, and I found out I was having my third son, and I wanted to, in my mind, have some flexibility from working, an 8 to 5, thinking that I was going to have all this extra time if I was a realtor, maybe more time than I actually have. But that's really the reason why I initially thought of real estate, because of the experience of working with a real estate attorney. And so when I did that, once I got involved, my nature is to help others.
Yes.
And I think that's when that kicked in.
Wonderful. And then you found out reality set in.
Right.
And
it's a full-time job.
It wasn't an 8 to 5 or a 9 to 5.
No.
What keeps you in it now?
So now I think it's just who I am.
Yes.
I mean, I can't imagine being anything else or doing anything else. And I have tried to, expand my horizons and what type of real estate and what different things I'm doing with real estate, not just residential.
What would you say to someone, because we've been having discussions about niches.
Right.
And so your particular niche would be in what type of engagement?
So I think the majority of my business comes from relocation and international relocation as well. So I find a passion helping people. And when nothing is worse than coming to a new city and having to find a new home and starting a new job and trying to find new schools and all the things that go along with that.
Wow, so you're really like a relocation expert.
I am.
That is brilliant.
Yes.
That is brilliant. How do you engage in finding international clients?
So there's several ways that I do that. I am on the global committee for the Houston Association of Realtors. It's been, I think, about 7 years that I've been on that. So I meet and make connections through international relationships that we build at the conferences that we go to. They also visit Houston, and they come in and we meet together and have trainings and teach them a little bit more about Houston and Texas, and then they teach us a little bit more about where they're from and how real estate is done there.
Wow.
And that just kind of helps me get initiations, and also a real estate team, a relocation team through Coldwell Banker. And so they bring in families that are relocating with large corporations.
Wow. And how big is the team that you work with?
So the team that I am on with the relocation team for Coldwell Banker is a national team.
Okay.
So it's relatively large. In my office, I think there are probably 5 to 6 people, agents, who are on the relocation team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What are some of the biggest concerns for folks outside of, I'll say, the amenities like shopping nearby, schools, support system? What are some of the other idiosyncrasies that you're seeing are occurring with the relocation process?
So I think mainly what I see when people come in is they want to learn a little bit more about the city before they actually make a decision on where to land their family. So I think what I do, or what I'm really good at, is to have a conversation with them and say, okay, what is it that you like to do? What's important to you? Whether it's a single person who is looking, young professional, looking to be close to work, but also wanting to be in, by the museums and the arts, things like that. Or if they're a family moving in and they're looking for good schools and ability to, be at the school in the morning and be at work in the next, within an hour. So drive time, things like that.
Wonderful. Good for you.
Yes.
Do you have a specific process, or has Caldwell put together a process for that identification? Is that something more organic that you do?
I think it's more organic.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's part of your personality.
right. I think I want to be helpful,
Mm-hmm.
so that comes natural. So I do have like an interview that I do with them just
Beautiful.
to see what's important to them, what they're looking for, not only in the house, but lifestyle.
Right.
And then try to keep them in areas that I feel fit what they're looking for.
Oh, that's great. If someone were to ask you, Jessica, what is like your 30-second elevator pitch? What do you do?
Well, I have not perfected my 30-second
That's okay.
elevator pitch, but if I said what I do, I think I facilitate families and educate them more than anything about the home buying process in our area. Because when
that.
they come from somewhere else, it may be different from where they come from.
Sure.
Right? And so in California, a lot of my clients come from either California or maybe from the East Coast,
Mm-hmm.
and they're used to a certain way that things are done there.
Sure.
And the way we do them in Texas is just a little bit different. And the same thing when they come international, it's totally different process.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, for sure. You know, in today's climate, staying in any industry for 25 years is a feather in your cap. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And I'm curious, when you get to those times where you may not be quite as, how do we say, motivated?
Right?
Or we start to feel that things are getting a little taxing, what advice can you give to other industry professionals that could help them maybe find a way of dealing or coping with that level of stress? Or, and I don't want to impart a word, but I'll say it can feel like overwhelm at times because there's just a lot to get done.
Right.
So what would you share with someone to possibly give them some distinctions as to how they could move through it?
Well, I mean, I think there's lots of things that I've learned over the years. One of the programs that I went through in 2023 was the Texas Realtors Leadership Program. And even though I had been in the business for a very long time and thought I knew everything, but obviously nobody knows everything, but I'm just joking, but I thought I knew a lot. And
Sure.
when you went through the real estate leadership program, it really did teach me that I can try to do everything, but I can't do everything. And it's always okay to hire or to reach out to someone to help you with things that maybe they're not your strong points. So, I
Absolutely.
mean, that's the part of being a good leader, right? It's like running your business and delegating some of the things out. I think in the beginning, I thought I had to really kind of control my business and make sure that it was a success and all of those things. But there's a way you can do that and use your ability to work with others and everything that there is out there nowadays to help.
Oh, I mean, there's so many different resources, so many
Yes.
different online AI, ChatGPT,
True.
EIEIO. I mean, it's like pick an acronym. There's something. There's a
Yes.
program out there for you. So, for some folks, and I'll throw myself into this arena as well. And you and I had a little brief discussion prior to chatting,
Right.
and that was how important is celebration in maintaining a healthy career, and I'm going to even state it a slightly different way, a healthy lifestyle.
Right. For me, it's very important because I actually feel like even the small things that we do and we get done, we have to celebrate because
Yes.
life is about celebration. I mean, I grew up in Southern, and when I was married, I was married to someone who was Hispanic, a Latin, and Latinos like to celebrate a lot, and which is great because it taught me that every celebration, we always had a lot of food and
Yes.
a lot of people and friends and family and music. And those are the things that are really important to me. So in business, I feel like you have to celebrate each accomplishment. So each year, to me, it's not as important as to what kind of accolades I get or certificates or a trophy. It's more about, did what I do this year help other people? Did it
Nice.
make other people happy? And did it create a time that I could spend with my family, and I have a granddaughter, and she's 4 years old, and
that's awesome.
She's very important, and I want to make sure I have time.
Absolutely. How much grandma is she?
She, what'd you say?
How much is she like
grandma?
Yeah.
Oh, she's definitely like her grandma. Yes, I love to cook, and so she comes and we cook it up. She's
awesome.
only 4. She'll help me cook.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
And what do you find that as a mother, as a grandmother, that your experiences as a real estate professional have helped, I'll say, author and create even more insights and distinctions and opportunities to reach, teach, and mentor even your own kids?
Right. I feel like it's really been a lot of growing pains, like going through the process of just finding the work-life balance. And I would love for my children to get into real estate, and one of my sons is taking real estate classes. They all work for a family business that we have. It's construction.
Okay.
So a lot of my clients are touched by part of that, and I like the ability to be able to refer them to somebody because they need something, and I'm like, well, I have somebody who can help you out, and I think that that's been really helpful to have them involved in it.
Yeah. Other people say, I got a guy. She's like, I got a family.
I got a whole family. And after being in the business for a while, you really have, and that's one of the other things I like to give to my clients is the ability to call me if they need anything.
Beautiful.
Hey, do you know a plumber? Do you know somebody that you trust that does landscaping? I need a design. So I like
being a resource is invaluable in today's climate, because people want to and need to be able to trust who they're working with and why they're working with them as well.
Right.
So when they come from a great resource that's highly respected and beyond reproach, now it's like, wow. And there's something that feels really good too as an industry professional of being able to, I'll say, author and provide opportunities for other folks.
Right.
So it's like, hey, they're good people, we're good people. When you put great people together, amazing things happen.
Exactly.
That's remarkable. Question for you on something that's a little bit outside of, on the fringe of our conversation, and that is, when it comes to looking at not just the celebration, but the frequency, because this is, again, something we were chatting about, and thank you for the pre-conversation.
Yes.
What happens when you start to realize that there's a cycle of, or a pattern, if you will, for yourself? So let's say like it's every trimester, every 4 months, that energy, time, still been celebrating, still been taking time. Right. Are there things that you can help people understand, maybe with scheduling or time blocking, that would give them an edge where they can, I'll say, no different than changing the oil in your car? Right. Do you have to wait till the indicator light comes on, or it's been 4 months, you should just change the oil?
Well, I think that you have to learn to celebrate quite often, actually. And I don't have a specific time frame, but I do feel like sometimes if you're just feeling like and for me, it's like I tend to be at my desk a lot if I'm having a desk day, so I'm not in the field and I'm working that day. I need to stand up and take a few minutes to go walk my dog. I will cook while I'm at home, but I'm still working, but I'm cooking at the same time.
Right.
I love to cook. So those are little celebrations for me, because when I cook, then I know my granddaughter can come over that afternoon and eat, and share time with me.
Yeah.
That's how I share my love, is through my food.
Hey.
and my business, and helping others, but it goes all together. It's a part of everything.
What advice could you give to someone about follow-up? Because I know this is something we learn by sometimes having our own experiences.
Right.
And there's something to be said about having a transaction, and when you're purchasing a home, let's face it, y'all, it's like literally the single largest purchase that most people make in their lifetime. And I know for executives like yourself who are working at a very high level, you may have multiple engagements with a client over time.
Right.
What would you say is the reason to stay engaged, number one? And number two, knowing what you know now, can you do differently than you may have done in the past?
Right. I think this in the past has been a challenge for me is to, because I am so engaged with my clients when they come, especially if they come from out of state or out of the country, I'm kind of like their first point of contact, or one of their first point of contact. So they trust me to help them and guide them, and so I want them to know they can reach out to me. They can reach out to me, even if it's something silly as my daughter's in town, where's the best, where's a good restaurant to take her? She likes Thai food, or anything like that. So I think that that's a really great thing to do. Have I been great at doing that? Sometimes I'm not, and I think it's just part of the business and being busy and trying to set a program or a procedure and a policy, or kind of integrate that into what I'm already doing. So I know everyone typically has your CRM. I'm more of a personal touch kind of person. So I think I'm just going to, one of my goals this year is actually to work more on reaching back out to past clients, making sure that it's not just an email or a phone call, but it's actually engaging with them and see how I can help them.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful and important. So what's one thing that you can share with the real estate community that is something that is so endearing and important to you that you'd like to bring their attention to? In other words, maybe if they looked at this could give them some distinctions. If it's a question or a process that you use for keeping yourself in check, because you're such a jovial, upbeat person, and you really have this gregarious nature about you, and you're an amazing communicator. What's something that if people knew about you, they'd be like, wow, that's really cool, and maybe I could find this in myself as well?
I have always just tried, and part of this was because my father had instilled in me a lot of positive, the power of positive thinking, and staying positive in every situation. I think with me, what I tend to do is be a fixer. So if there's a problem, I'm going to try to fix it. I'm not going to concentrate too much on the problem itself. I'm just going to automatically think, either what can I do to make this right, or who do I know that I can call that will help me? And when you build relationships with people and you do those things and you're genuine, then people also want to help you. I tend to have a problem sometimes getting help because I don't like to ask for help. So I think if I had any advice for people is don't be afraid to ask for help, right? You build these relationships, and people are usually oftentimes, I find, even coworkers and other agents that I've worked with and met through my HAR relationships, they're very willing to help us. They're very willing to help me. They were willing to help you. I'm always willing to help people when they're business, if they have questions or if they need anything. Yeah.
Well, that's sound advice. And again, resourcefulness is a gift. Be selfless and give the gift of receiving by asking for help. That's when you really know you have a strong relationship with someone.
That's true.
Jessica, you're a treat, and thank you so much for your time and your energy.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here.
All
and
right.
so everyone, Jessica Escamilla, I'm Chuck Hogan with TO Global. We'll check in with you soon.